My name is Dodd. I'm a British landscape photographer. I normally shoot down in the southeast of England, but sometimes I travel further afield, and in particular this video will be looking at one of my trips to Norway. Wow, morning. Don't you just love this? Sun streaming through, oak trees, rolling green fields in the UK. It's 6:30 in the morning. I've been up since 4, photographing the valley here down in the southeast near where I live. Beautiful far skies, daisies, rolling fields full of daisies. So that's it, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about Norway and how global warming impacted on the photography that I was doing there. So I went to the Woodland Valley and in Norway, which is sort of central Norway. And this area, there's a lot of cruise ships come into the fjords, and loads of tourists go up there, so it's quite accessible. I went to some more inaccessible areas as well, so you might see that as well during the video. And I'm going to show you how I go about making the compositions. Discuss briefly how I was affected in relation to not being able to shoot certain areas because things have changed so much. And then, so that'll be the first part of the video. We'll backtrack slightly and I'll show you how I shot some of the images on the walk into there. And then we'll do a little bit of video on woodlands, because I can't resist a bit of woodlands. It's pine coniferous type trees, which are sort of farm timber over there, or a lot of it. But there are some nice Caledonian pines and that type of thing, and I found one of those forests, and so it's all to do with atmosphere. So I'll explain towards the end how I shot that as well. So yeah, feel free to have a look at the rest of the video. I'm only shooting this here at the moment because this is easier than doing it in the office, much more pleasant. So here's the video. Well, I hope you can hear me with the wind. We're in the Briksdalsbreen Glacier, which is off the Woodland Valley. You know, the valley's great, and took good pictures on the way up here. Early morning, left at 5 o'clock, got here. In fact, the pictures were better coming up, which I'll show you. And to be frank, this glacier is pretty underwhelming. I mean, all the tour ships come up here. I'm early in the morning, they've not come in yet. I think the glacier's gone. There doesn't appear to be an awful lot left of it coming down. Okay, I've got to stop the video there. Show you what's going on here. Behind me is the glacier. There's an arrow pointing to it, and that's all that's left of it. There was nothing to take a picture of when it came to glaciers. Go look the other way, it's a different matter altogether, which I'll show you in a minute. But if you come up here expecting a postcard picture, you're not going to get it. And if you look at the postcard picture, you can see the massive difference that's occurred over the last maybe 23 years. That's not very long at all. Is that global warming? I don't know. Is that natural? I don't know. If you do know, let me know in the comments. The Briksdalsbreen park, and I'll put the name down here, which is on the south side of here. It's far better, right in your face. I really enjoyed that shooting there. A real wild and out there, I think. But there's good pictures behind us, and I'm going to stop now because before I have my snack bar, I'm going to shoot this because in the opposite direction it looks a little bit better. Okay, I'll show you that. It's not perfect, but I think I quite like it. Yeah, and we're heading south after this, slowly wending our way back home. Coming back down, I did say I thought there were some better images on looking in the other direction. It's partly to do with the light, probably. But coming back down, I've just had a wander around, and there was a little sort of like waterfall looking back towards this mountain over here. I'm not showing you. Oh wow, look at that! I haven't got the telly, but there's a rainbow on the waterfall coming down. That's amazing. Anyway, getting back to the story, I came across this pool here. I mean, to all intents and purposes, just a muddy pool. But look at this. As soon as you change your perspective, this is what it is. As soon as you see a pool like this, have a look at it carefully and then start moving around. And this is what you get. Okay, so that's what it looks like, and this is the final picture, you know, after the edits and the likes, better than it was up there. Pretty cool here, slightly original, I quite like it. And moving on. I then moved further down into the valley, shot a bit of woodland mixed in with mountains, which is a bit unusual. And then I'll just point out that I've got my ebook, Order in the Chaos, which explains how to make shots within woodland. Some people find it a bit tricky. It's 144 pages. Most people will find it very useful. It's about £10, and you can get it from my online site on my webpage, fastfoxphotography.com. Also point out that I'm a member of or affiliated to DxO, which is a software company. They produce plugins for Lightroom, Photoshop, and also does a standalone. One of the things that I've been using recently from them is DX Pure Raw 6. So that's DxO Pure Raw 6. It's just fantastic. Essentially it gets rid of noise and sharpens up your image, and it's a bit like the Topaz software, but it's sort of a bit like on steroids really. I find it really good, really useful. And if you look at the end, there's an image of a squirrel within the woodlands, and that would have not been possible without this software. And you can get a discount if you use my discount code, which is FastFox. Just showing you here in relation to woodland photography how I have decided to break every single rule in the book. So generally I would say never point it towards the sky, exclude as much sky as possible, use a polarizer, shoot high, all those types of things. Try not to use a wide angle lens. Well, I'm at the widest here. I'm I don't know, about 20 millimeters, something like that. We're in the woods in Norway, but the difference is, I'll show you the setup. So that's the camera, and we've got this wooded area here, beautiful tree and everything. But further up we've got the mountains. Hopefully that will just re-expose, so you can see there's a massive dynamic range. This may or may not work, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to exposure blend the two together. You can see the difference there, and see if that works. So I think there's quite interesting foreground here leading up to the tree, yeah, who knows, that would be breaking every single rule that I have ever made. But there's right, I'm staying in the van because it's windy and you wouldn't be able to hear me, and let's turn the aircon off and turn the fan down a little bit. Yeah, and so we've come down to the Briksdalsbreen Glacier, which is just off Odden in Norway. It's quite nice here. But I'll just show you something. So if we look out here through the window, that is going towards the Briksdalsbreen Glacier. A bit blown out, as you can see. Looks alright, looks very nice if you came here for the day. There's a lot of cruise ship tourists come down here. Apparently it gets very busy, but I got up at 4 o'clock this morning to get down here, try and get to the base of the glacier for, well no sorry, not 4 o'clock, 4:30. Managed to get towards the base of the glacier before sunrise, but just before sunrise we stopped off here, and that was pretty good actually. And you'll see the pictures now what the difference makes, and this was probably about 10 minutes before sunrise. I hung around a little bit rather than go to the base of the glacier. The glacier was a little bit of a disappointment, as you'll see in a minute, but there were some good pictures in the end from it. It just takes a bit of extra work sometimes to root out those images. And actually I can start seeing a few things here with the woods on the side of the fjord. So anyway, onwards and upwards. So it's another little scene in Norway. As you can see, it's snowing and quite cold. So I've come up to top of a mountain above the fjords. The idea was to get some views into the fjords, but it looked cloudy anyway coming up, and obviously the snow's coming, so you can't see anything. But behind me there's a forest, and in Norway there's a lot of like logging, and the forests aren't really that interesting. They're coniferous firs really. But here we've got some sort of Caledonian type pines which look really nice, and with the snow I thought I'd give it a go. So the way that this scene works here is, I don't know if you can see, I've got this this tree here, snow starting to pile up on it a little bit, just a little bit on the edge, and then obviously we've got a lovely dusting on the floor. There's a bit of a path that goes up, so that's quite nice, and then again it's all quite white, and theoretically slightly blown out. The eye is drawn to the white, so I'm not too concerned about the fact that we've got some of the sky exposed. Normally I would, because of the highlights and that sort of stuff, but I think that's fine because we've got you know, like light colour white snow down here, and that up there, and it just highlights the trees quite well. So what settings have I got? Well, it's windy, and I've actually taken this handheld because it's windy. So I have got the ISO up quite high. I've got the ISO up to 800. I might have to denoise that later in post. The reason is the tree's moving. Even this this tall tree here is moving, so I need a shutter speed of at least 1/20th of a second, which is all I'm really getting in this light. But you have to compromise because of the wind and the movement. Can't use a tripod, image stabilization, f8, an ISO of 800. And a shutter speed of 1/20th, maybe 1/50th if I was lucky, and that's it really. I don't know whether it'll work, and I've taken a few more shots further up. This is what you have to deal with when it's really crappy weather in Norway, but at the same time you won't get these types of scenes unless you are in the crappy weather. You just have to deal with it.